Going on YouTube? Drama D here. Another update. Try not to ramble too much, but today I just got done calibrating salinity checker. Checked all the tanks. This one's at 1.025. Mixing water here. This is at 1.027, so I need to add just a little bit of RODI. This one was at 1.024. So today my plan is to stop procrastinating. Did I say that right? Procrastinating. And see, there's some floaties in there. I need to scoop them out. It's like little PVC shavings. Must have got stuck on the lid, but I'm gonna stop procrastinating and go ahead and fill this bad boy up right here. So got 5 gallons here. Got another 5 gallons here. I need to start mixing. This one's mixed. I just need to add some RODI. Bring it down to 1.026. That should bring this up to about 1.025.5. I'm hoping. Or I'll just mix the next batch 2.5 and then they should balance out to 2.5 piece. I am missing my heater. I looked all over this morning for my mixing heater and I could not find it. I had a 300 watt Eheim Jaeger heater, but it will not fit in this bucket correctly, so just gonna mix it up. The temperature's off by about 4 degrees compared to the tank, so I thought about putting this little space heater near the bucket and try to heat the bucket up, but I'm just gonna wing it. It's one of those things you probably shouldn't do, but I'm doing, and I'm sharing it with you. But here's the tank again. Let me get it wet. So I'm gonna add a little bit of RODI to this. That's in that white bucket there. And then I'm gonna take this water, put it in there. I have the ball valve shut off, so it can't go to the lagoon tank yet. So I'm gonna kick that bucket in here. I'm gonna kick on the little 425, let it mix a little bit more. It's been mixing for about 2.5 hours. It's Tropic Marin Pro, so I'm not sure exactly. I usually mix it for 2 to 3 hours before I use it. I should probably check, but while I'm mixing the other bucket for 2 to 3 hours, that first bucket will be in here mixing with the 425. Obviously I got the day off. It's a bummer. Hopefully Monday work picks up, because I've been sitting at home since I work Monday. I've been sitting home all week waiting for these jobs to kick off. They keep getting pushed back due to issues in the project. So if work doesn't pick up, I'm gonna have to get rid of that guy over there to pay some bills. Already depleting my savings, so alright, we're back real quick. This isn't the final update of this fill, but here's a fail update. So the 425, I turned it on to mix up this water, and I can hear the pump on, but just there was no flow coming out, so I pulled the cap off, and when I did that I snapped the impeller. So I need to take this out. I'm going to replace it with one of these temporarily. It's a Lifeguard, what is it, Quiet One 400. It's usually like a reactor type pump. I got 2 of them here. So I'm going to throw one of these in there in place of the 425, just so I have some flow going underneath the rack, and mix up the salt while the other one mixes, which it's currently mixing right now. So there's a fail. Careful when working with these smaller pumps. The propellers are fragile. Basically what happened, I pulled the propeller out and it separated from the magnet. So I'm sure some super glue might be able to fix it, but a new impeller, I need to go get our new impeller. And yeah, so it's like a 40-mile drive to the shop to get a propeller. We'll go ahead and utilize this in the meantime. So stay tuned. We're not done. Stick around. I will be adding another video to the end of this. So there's a first bucket of water. You can see it's about a third of the way full. Hopefully 10 gallons does it. I hope. If not, I'm gonna have to do 15. We'll see. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Alright, we're back. Got the second bucket in. A few things that happened. Failed. The Corella 425 propeller, I snapped it because it got jammed. I tried to open it up, fix it. Failed. So I got the other 5-gallon bucket in. Started putting it in, and I was like, oh crap, I forgot to check the salinity on it. It was at 1.028, so I mixed that with 1.025 or 26. So I had to let this mix for about 30 minutes and add some RODI to this, which I didn't have on hand because I just poured the last of it in my other 5-gallon bucket that's mixing more. So I had to turn on my RODI system and make about 2 gallons, and I poured in about half a gallon and waited 20 minutes, checked, and now this is at 1.025. But while this has been sitting here with the ball valve shut off, some water leaked down the drain because it is up at the drain and flowed in here to the sump, raising the water level just a little bit, but it caused my ATO sensor to go off. So I turned the ATO off. I'm about to turn off the skimmer and making some new water. And stay tuned. I didn't really factor in the amount. It's a 15-gallon frag tank, but I didn't really think about the water that's going to be in the plumbing. So I went ahead and made another 5 gallons. So once I get that 5 gallons in, I'm going to fill it up to the rim. Then I'm going to pop open the ball valve after I turn off the skimmer in this system. Kick on that return. Yeah, it's gonna be fun right now. So stay tuned, and hopefully I'll get it on video. But like a couple guys were saying, it's not all, everything's perfect. Sometimes we do run into complications, and I'm trying to share with you some of mine. So far I don't see any water on the floor, so it seems like the plumbing over here is not leaking. We'll have to see over here once I kick on that return pump, and the drain over here, it's got a bunch of weird unions and elbows. So stay tuned. Like I said, I'm going to link all these videos together. I'm going to go ahead and eat something right now while this water's mixing, and I'll post everything up and running when it is added to this video. So don't go anywhere. And thanks for hanging out and watching. Here we go again. So it's just another quick little piece that I'm going to add to this video. If you guys are still here, thanks for sticking around. So the tank has got water in it. I just turned the return on. It was actually fairly simple. Basically, I got the 10 gallons in there. I opened the drain all the way and kicked on the return. Had the return on setting 3. Have since turned it down all the way to 1. And with 1, there is quite a bit of flow jetting out of there. I don't know if the drain is a little loud. I think it is. I would prefer it to be more dead silent, but you can hear the water flowing into the overflow. I've checked all the connections, and so far so good, no leaks. I have the skimmer turned off and the ATO turned off, so I'm gonna let it run for maybe 30 minutes as is now, and then I'm gonna kick the return or the skimmer back on. That's gonna suck some water out of the sump. Then I'm gonna top off just below the ATO line and then kick the ATO on, let it fill up to the first sensor. Should only be like a very small amount. I don't want to overfill it and then the sensor keep alarming, and then I have to pull water out with the measuring cup. I've been messing around with the drain, trying to raise the water level just a little bit. I don't really feel comfortable closing it all the way. I mean, I had it almost closed all the way right now, and it was taking the flow and the drain. So the only thing I can see that's going to affect the lagoon so far is the temperature of the water, which has dropped to about 6.5 degrees lower than this tank. I can't find my heater. I guess what I could have did, and I didn't think about until right now, was put the Eheim Jaeger 300 watt in the frag tank itself. Maybe that's what I'll end up doing. Just put it underneath the frag rack. So I'll make a final little clip of this frag fill up in about 2 hours, after things have been running for a while and I've had time to check for leaks and play around with the return pump as far as turning it up, turning it down, opening, closing the drain, etc., etc. Skimmer on, ATO on, having everything on and functioning for about an hour. Then I'll add the final little clip video to the end of this. So stick around. One more final little add-on to all these little videos I've been putting out, so, or in this video. So once again, thanks for watching, and it's just stuff we do. I don't know why I was stressing out about it. It seems like everything's going pretty smooth. The only issue I had was the heater and the 425, which you can see I just replaced with the reactor pump, a Lifeguard. I think it's like a 100-gallon-per-hour pump. Just to flow underneath the racks, kick up any detritus. I did add some frag plugs in there just in case the racks wanted to float up, but they didn't want to float up. If anything, I had my acrylic rods are floating up, so those are just pointers or dividers. Let it run for a little bit, and then we'll add on to the end of this video and see what you guys think. Stick around, stay tuned, don't go anywhere. So another little thing that just happened was I just noticed the drain is leaking right here at the bushing. This is a bushing going from 1.5 inch to a 1-inch pipe. I never glued this bushing in, so I just cut the power and pulled it out, threw some glue on there. Gonna wait about 20 minutes, make sure it's fully set, and then kick the water back on. Don't leave, we're almost done. Still having multiple issues with the drain where the coupler is, keeps leaking. Oh man, I tried to put some super glue on it right now. I waited 20 minutes and just kicked it back on, so we will see. Alright, we're back. Tank's been up and running for about 4.5 hours. Maybe longer. Yeah, it's probably more like 6 hours. All the rods are all jacked up. I'm going to get in there tomorrow, fix the tiles and the rods. The overflow is making some sucking noise. Should have probably mounted it probably about a 1/2 inch lower than what it is. For some reason I was thinking the water level, it needed to be higher, so the water level in this small tank is higher, but I don't know. Try to put some floss behind the cover, and it helps silence it down, but it also raised the water up to about a 1/4 inch above the below the top of the tank. So took it out. I feel more comfortable with it about 1 inch below rather than 1/4 below. So the drain is choked back just a hair. So what would I do differently? Mount the overflow lower, get a taller frag tank. Like I said, I got paid like 20 bucks or traded something for it, so kept having issues with the drain, the bushing on that 90 right there. I just pressure fitted in there. Didn't think I wanted to glue it. Just this way I could remove it easy. I didn't think it's a drain line. I didn't really think it's gonna leak, but guess what? It was leaking. So I pulled it off, sealed it, turned it back on 20 minutes later, and it's leaking in one little tiny spot, like a good leak. So I just took some super glue out, covered it up, turned it back on, boom, it's leaking again from a different spot. So I just took some super glued all the way around it. I'm being honest, that's what I fucking did. Is it something I'm proud of? No. But that's what I did, and we're gonna go with it. So it's been up and running for about 4 hours now. I'm gonna wait probably till after dinner, kick on the ATO, and then we'll go from there. So just wanted to share. There it is. It's wet. It's running. Total tank temperature. There was a difference of 5 degrees between the new 10-gallon water and my tank's water, so probably shouldn't have did that big of a temperature swing, but I took a chance. I did it. It was 5-degree difference. I should have took my 300 watt heater and stuck it underneath the frag tank, or underneath the racks in the frag tank, and heated the water that way. But it is what it is. So there's your update. Thanks for watching.